Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got in another keychain style flashlight to take a look at. This one's coming from Nitecore and it's the TINI 3. And not only is this flashlight super tiny, but it is packed with features that I have never seen in a keychain light before. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll do a real quick unboxing, go over all the features and specifications, go over the user interface. I'll give you guys some beam shots and then give some thoughts on it. So as you can see, we have 600 lumens and multiple color temperatures. That's one very unique thing on it. Looks like there's a QR code that you can scan. We're going to have an OLED display. The color they've sent me is a green gray. They also have it available in black and an orange as well. Looks like our max distance, beam distance is 90. And 2-meter impact resistance and IP54 waterproof rated. Alright, let's take this out and see what all comes with it, how it's packaged. So it looks like you got a little tab here that you can pull. Something's still in there, probably just the manual. That was a quick guide with an email address and a phone number if you have any issues. Alright, let's see what else was in here. So we're going to have a charging cable. Looks like it's type A to type C. A much bigger manual. And it looks like we have like a key attachment. I'll show you the English version of the manual. Just in case you get this light and lose the manual, you can always come back to this video for reference. And for those of you wondering about the warranty, Nitecore offers basically a full lifetime warranty on their products. The first 2 years, everything is covered under, and then beyond 24 months, you just pay for the parts, but all the labor and everything else is still covered. So really good warranty. So here is the TINI 3. And as you can see, it is very, very small. I mean, like half of a thumb length, basically. Give you guys some close-ups here. We're going to have 2 LEDs up top. We have this OLED display. We're going to have like a mode button and our power button. The charging ports down here. This is one of my other Nitecore keychain flashlights. This is the tube. I've had this one for years, but it's only 45 lumens. And this new TINI 3 is 600 lumens, and you can see that it is significantly smaller. And speaking of size, we're looking at a total length of 1.86 inches, a width of just about an inch, and a thickness of 0.55 inches. That is the TINI 3 compared to a dollar bill. As you can see, you could fit a bunch of them on here. And here it is next to a tube of chapstick. Again, significantly smaller. And next to a Jeep key fob. As far as a weight, we're looking at 0.7 ounces. So I never had the original TINI or the TINI 2. But I know that this is supposed to be brighter than the 2. It's supposed to have like a longer battery life. It's supposed to throw further and just overall be a much better light. So like I said earlier, this little guy has 600 lumens of output on it and throws 90 meters or 98 yards. But one of the most interesting features is that you can actually change the color temperature of the LEDs. So we can have like a really warm type color, which is almost like a yellow looking, kind of like in the middle here, a neutral color, or that really bright, cool white. And later in the video, I'll obviously show you all those different colors. And there are different purposes. Like if you want like the yellow, that's useful if you're in fog or rain, or if maybe you were in a building that there's a lot of smoke or something like that. The neutral is just like a general good one to keep on for most tasks. The cool white is a good choice if you're outside at night and need a light, whereas inside, that neutral white is probably better. You're going to have 5 brightness levels in all 3 of those color temperatures, and you'll have direct access to turbo. This little light has mode memory, and it also has mode preset. So let's say you shut it off in low, but the next time that you need to use it, you want to be on high when it comes on. You can actually change that before you even turn it on. It has a built-in 330 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. It has a partial lockout mode and a full lockout mode, and I'll show you what both of those do in a bit. So the light is going to be shipped to you in full lockout mode, which basically means if you push either button, it's going to tell you that you got full lock, and to unlock it you have to hit both buttons together. So again, even if I hit the top button, it says the same thing. So let's go ahead and unlock it by pressing both buttons at the same time. See a little key that kind of went across the screen. Now it says that we're in level 1, which is the ultra low. That was 1 lumen on a full battery. That will run for around 85 hours. And both of the LEDs are on, even on that 1 lumen. And you can see it kind of has like this TIR lens up here, which usually means that you're going to have kind of like diffused or kind of more of a floodlight. But 1 lumen's good, again, in a tent, maybe trying to find your keys, something down in a purse or a bag, putting your key in a door, whatever it might be. And to go up to the next output level, we're going to press this. Now we're on level 2. You can see it said 15 lumens. That will go for about 9 hours. That's level 3, 65 lumens. That's close to 3 hours on a full charge. There's level 4, we're at 200 lumens. That will run for about an hour on a full charge. And if you want to get to the turbo, the 600 lumens, you press and hold this from any level. I could have been on the ultra low 1 lumen, but just press and hold. And that will take you to the 600 lumens, and that actually is very bright. And I'll have to mess with this turbo to see if it kind of lasts. I know it's got some type of temperature regulation where it'll probably step down after a certain amount of time, but whenever you release, then it goes back to the level you were at. So we're on 200 again right there. But let's go back through and get to some of the other ones. So let's say I'm on that 1 lumen. Again, from here I can go right up to turbo. And then when I'm done, it'll go right back to the low 1 lumen there. I have the EDC 23 from Nitecore that also has this OLED display. And I don't think I have any other keychain lights that have this style. I really like it. It shows you the level that you're on. It shows you your remaining time. It shows you the output, the lumens that are there. It's a really nice feature to have. So let's say that we're on level 3, 65 lumens, and then we power it back off, which was just a simple tap. The next time we turn it back on, whether it's a day, a week, a month, we're going to be on 65 lumens again. So I talked earlier about that presetting your output. So again, we're on level 3 right now, so I'm going to shut the light off. With it off and basically in the unlock position, I can hit the mode button and it will basically bring up these different levels for me. So like, let's say the next time I turn it on, I want to be on level 2. The light is not on right now, but the next time I turn it on, I'm going to come on that level 2. So that's how you preset it. I said earlier that the light has direct access to turbo, whether it's on or off. So even when it's in the off position, you can long press this mode button and it will take you right into that 600 lumen turbo mode. The light also has direct access to the ultra low 1 lumen. So let's just say that we're on level 4 right there. It was the 200 lumens and I shut it off. When I turn it back on, I'm still going to be on that 200 lumens, but what you can do is long press the power button and it gives you that ultra low 1 lumen instead of your whatever level you're on. Show you guys how to change the different color temperatures. So basically we're going to turn the light on, and then while it's on, we're going to press and hold both of these buttons at the same time, and the display is going to show us what color we could have. So it's switching right now. The camera's having a hard time picking it up, but that's cool, neutral, warm. Kind of see it now. So now we're on the warm light. And again, from here, I can go through all the different modes, just like I did with the cool. And if I want to switch to the next, again, I just hold both of them. So it goes warm, cool is the second. And then again, to switch to the next, just both buttons. And that is the neutral. In real life, the display does not do that at all. It's just a camera. Again, this is more of the neutral color. And that's turbo on neutral. I mentioned the full lockout mode earlier. It also has the partial lockout mode, and you activate it by having the light on, and then while it's on, you long press the power button. You hold it and it's going to say semi-lock or full lock. And so what you want to do is just stop when it says the semi-lock. So right there. So in semi-lock, the only thing we're going to have access to is turbo, and that is by long pressing the mode button. So if we hit the power button, it's going to say, hey, you're in partial lock. But again, we can press and hold this button here, and it'll give us access to the turbo. When you're in full lockout mode, that obviously will not work then. We'll get the light charged up here next. It's going to show us that it's charging. It says we're at 91% right now. You can use the light while you're charging. I think from a completely dead battery, it takes about an hour and a half for it to fully charge. Alright, try to show you guys what this Nitecore TINI 3 looks like. I'm going to start off in the neutral color, and we'll start with that 1 lumen really low. Again, the camera's probably having a hard time even picking all that up except for on my hand. We'll bump it up here next to the next output. That's the 15 lumens. And you can see that's a pretty nice bump in power right there. I mean, that'll definitely illuminate a room. And there's level 3. And there is 200 lumens, level 4. And we'll go up to the turbo next. That's the 600 lumens. I'm going to keep it on the high 200 lumens and switch to the other colors for you. That is the warm. I'll go up to the 600 in the warm. And then next will be the cool. You can see it almost has like a bluish tint to it. That's 200. And finally 600 in cool. Camera does adjust for all these different colors as well. I'll also show you the high and the turbo outside here. I'm probably 40 feet or so from a tree line. So we'll start off here in the high. This is the neutral, and then I'll just go up to the turbo from here. Again, for being such a small little keychain light, it actually has a pretty nice beam on it. Throws pretty decent. There's also a really wide spill to it. Well, hopefully seeing those beam shots was somewhat beneficial for you guys. Keep in mind, it actually is brighter in person than what it appears in the video. I record everything with an iPhone, and it automatically adjusts the exposure. So I've had this little guy for probably 3 weeks or so now, and overall, I really like it. It's probably my favorite keychain size flashlight that I own now. The overall build quality seems to be pretty good. The finish is holding up okay so far. If you have multiple keys on your key ring, it might wear the finish off a little bit faster. Or if your car is an older one that you still put the key in the ignition and this kind of dangles, it might wear the finish off a little faster. I really like how small and lightweight it is. When you add it to your keyring, you honestly don't even notice that it's on there. I compared it to that Jeep key fob earlier, and that one is kind of big and chunky. Here's a Ford one, just to still show you just how much smaller it is. I like that it has those multiple color temperatures available. I've never had a keychain style flashlight that's had that. The user interface on it is pretty simple. Got one button to turn it on, the other button to switch through the different outputs. I like that you can lock it out just in case you were like carrying this maybe in your coin pocket or watch pocket in your pants, or maybe in a backpack. I really like the OLED display. I've never had a keychain light that's had that before. You know, it tells you your level and output that you're on and your remaining battery time. I like that this uses a USB-C cable to charge. A lot of these really tiny lights will still use those micro USB cables. Also like that you have direct access to turbo even when the light is off. Just press and hold. And that 600 lumens is really bright. And the overall performance is actually really good with this. It's mostly floody, but it does have a decent amount of throw to it as well for as small as it is. A couple other things to mention. This does have a built-in battery that is not meant to be replaceable. And the last thing I'll say is they kind of designed this so that these buttons can't be accidentally pressed. As you can see, they're almost like below the top surface here. And I have found a couple times, you know, I have large hands, but it's kind of hard for me sometimes to get my fingers down in here to kind of hit those. And especially when I'm trying to go into lockout, I've seen some other videos where people will do both at the same time like this. That's kind of difficult for me just because of how this is set in here. So I have to do both hands, and it does make it difficult to get into that lockout. So at the time of me recording this video, these little lights are coming in around $40, and they're available on Nitecore's website. I think there is some shipping if you order here. They're also available on Amazon for $45, and that would be free Prime shipping. And I will leave both of those links down in the video description in case you want to find out more information about the light or pick one up. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it.